my dear friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars news update. In today's video we're going to be talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Book of Boba Fett and more. As always my dear Mandalorians, before we dive into the news, please may I ask you to hit that big red subscribe button if you've not done so already, and also be sure to give that bell a good old tickle to be alerted each and every time that I post a new video. But without much further ado and without any more jibber jabber, let's dive straight into it. So we're going to kick things off with Obi-Wan Kenobi and some great news revealed by Indira Varma. Filming for the series may now have finished after a heartfelt Instagram post from Indira Varma, and she said the following: "Being a part of this amazing beast Obi-Wan Kenobi has been a trip. Fabulous cast of lovely people, brilliant director Deborah Chow and the loveliest crew of creatives. I cannot wait to see the result of everyone's incredible work and talent on the screen. Thank you. May the Force be with you." This post comes after rumours that Varma is going to play Captain Bragg from The Bad Batch, or a new Imperial officer we haven't seen before in the upcoming series. While nothing is known yet about the plot of this series, we do know it's going to have 6 episodes, each one averaging 1 hour in length. We've had ample reports of fan favourite characters returning as well, and we recently learned that a young Princess Leia is going to be a central part of the series. One question I've seen many fans have is whether or not we're going to revisit some famous planets from the prequels. If Leia is going to appear, then it's safe to say we might be returning to Alderaan, but some leakers also claim that we might see Mustafar, Naboo, and Coruscant is also rumoured to be a prominent part of both Obi-Wan Kenobi and the Andor series as well. So now my dear friends, we're going to move on and talk about the Book of Boba Fett, the next big live action Star Wars project, and it's coming in just 4 months' time. We now know that cinematographer David Klein is confirmed for multiple episodes. Lucasfilm's next big Star Wars release on the small screen is going to be the Book of Boba, a direct spin-off of The Mandalorian, as we'll see further adventures of Boba Fett played by Temuera Morrison, and his newly acquired partner Fennec Shand, who's played by Ming-Na. We already know that the show has wrapped up, but details of who worked on the secretive project have been trickling out recently, and this has included some crew and director confirmations. The Ronin has been able to now confirm that Deadwood and Mandalorian Season 2 cinematographer David Klein has returned to shoot multiple episodes of the Book of Boba Fett, but the exact number has not been revealed. Now, the reason why David Klein is such a big deal for the Book of Boba is that he was the cinematographer for the Mandalorian Season 2 episode that Robert Rodriguez directed, and that was the one that we see Boba Fett get back his armor from Djarin. It was also the episode that we saw Boba Fett take on a bunch of stormtroopers, and it mixed both the old style of Boba Fett as well as some Maori influence by Temuera Morrison. A couple of weeks ago, it was also revealed by American cinematographer that legendary director of photography Dean Cundey would also be shooting episodes of the Book of Boba as well. His fantastic list of credits includes Halloween, The Fog, Escape from New York, The Thing, and much more. The Book of Boba Fett directing team is expected to include Robert Rodriguez, alongside other Mando alumni such as Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, Bryce Dallas-Howard, and Extraction director Sam Hargrave. Now, as you guys know, it's been said over and over again that the Book of Boba Fett is going to be The Mandalorian Season 2.5, so it's directly going to follow on from The Mandalorian Season 2, while also having lots of flashbacks as well, and it's going to be very interesting to see how the Book of Boba Fett will tie into Season 3 of The Mandalorian. Now, changing the subject slightly, but staying on the topic of Boba Fett, I want to share with you this very interesting opinion piece. Boba Fett just exposed Star Wars' big comic problem, and they're talking about War of the Bounty Hunters, which apparently is exposing Marvel's unwillingness to impose real stakes on even lesser known Star Wars movie characters. So let's dive into it together. Ever since Disney acquired Lucasfilm, Star Wars has reaped the benefits offered by its newfound connections to Marvel Comics, but Boba Fett just exposed the major downside to this era of comic stories. Fans may be getting strong stories from many different eras, all set in official canon, but despite having some of the best talent in the industry, Marvel Comics have run into a major problem. Seldom do any characters of even mild consequence die, creating a growing sense that in this medium, the stakes of Star Wars stories can never be too high. Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters sees Boba Fett facing off against his deadly colleagues in a story set between episodes 5 and 6. Having been robbed of Han Solo's carbonite-encased body, Boba ends up on the wrong side of his employer Jabba the Hutt, who places a bounty on both Solo and Fett. As Boba tracks down his stolen cargo, he goes up against rival bounty hunters, hoping to claim the price on his head, and mowing them down in a series of battles that prove he deserves his fearsome reputation, but never actually finishing off any of the killers who came for his head. This is seen prominently in Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters tie-in 4-LOM and Zuckuss, written by Daniel Jose Older with art by Kai Zama. The last reader saw of the eponymous bounty hunters in Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters, Boba Fett had kicked Zuckuss to his apparent death and taken the head of his robotic partner, 4-LOM, hurling it from the bridge of Jabba's palace once he'd collected the information that he needed. However, the comic opens with Zuckuss limping off his injury, only to discover that 4-LOM likewise survived, albeit given a deadly new body and reprogrammed by an old enemy. Similarly, Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters number 2 sees Boba Fett blow the legs off Trandoshan hunter Bossk, who is quick to note that thanks to his alien biology, they'll soon grow back. Part of the appeal of War of the Bounty Hunters is watching Boba Fett battle his bounty hunter rivals, considering most of these characters, apart from Boba Fett and Han Solo, do not appear in movies beyond The Empire Strikes Back. This theoretically ties up the stakes dramatically on who could live or who could die. But those stakes are unfortunately undone when even lesser known foes are restored to good health within weeks. While it's true fans do love 4-LOM, Zuckuss and Bossk, in the comics there does need to be a sense that some of these could die. Now that's not to say that Marvel needs to become a meat grinder for established characters, not at all. 4-LOM and Zuckuss the comic does an excellent job exploring both of these personalities and backstories, and building the bond that they have together. But in setting up a story in which Star Wars' deadliest killers go up against each other, you don't expect every single character to be spared, and this is a problem that needs to be addressed. Now personally, I agree with this article, but only to an extent, because Charles Soule made it clear that there is going to be a tie-in with the Book of Boba, and so that means the reason he isn't killing off these characters in the comics is so that they can later appear in the live-action series. So it is all deliberate. But now, my dear friends, I turn it over to you. What did you make of everything we spoke about in today's update? What do you make about Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Book of Boba Fett news, and of course the tie-in with War of the Bounty Hunters? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're brand new, and a huge welcome if you are, and also be sure to give that bell a good old tickle to be alerted every time I post a new video. Apart from that, I'm Star Wars Meg, wishing you all a phenomenal rest of the day, no matter where you dwell in the galaxy. Have a good one. I'm pleased to announce that I now have a second channel that is dedicated to my Star Wars music mixes. As many of you know, I'm a musician and composer, and as such, I create about half the music for this channel myself. After several requests, I've decided to create an entire channel dedicated to it. It's called Meg's Cantina, and on there I'll be uploading Star Wars ambience and chill mixes that you guys can relax to. They're going to be inspired by themes from across the saga and all contain animated artwork to accompany them. If that sort of thing appeals to you, then go over to Meg's Cantina or click the link in the description down below and make sure to hit subscribe. Bear in mind that channel has no impact on this one, so if it's not your cup of tea, don't worry whatsoever. Thank you all so much for your time.